Welcome to the Story of Everyman. On this episode, we're going to talk to Laren and Jodi. They're artists and they have been doing this mural in Longview, and we'll talk about that. But I also want to talk a little bit about how me and Laren came to know each other. Welcome, Laren.
Thank you for having me.
What's up, Jodi? How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Where were you born?
I was born in Gilmer, Texas. Here in Longview.
Welcome to the podcast. When was the first time that you came to even know who I was?
Probably when I got kicked off of the group, the whole Things Longview. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to go to the source and be like, hey, they kicked me off. Can you get me back on? After that, I think that, I met you a few times, especially whenever I was like doing the trips to North Carolina. So,
do you remember the reason you were removed for it?
Yeah, I do. My neighbor Jacob, he had commented about something. It was religious, and somebody blocked his deal or something, and then I called you guys dictators, and y'all kicked me off.
Yeah, it's always an interesting thing. It's always a fight to deal with politics, religion. Yeah. You're in there now. You're in the group. It is a entertaining struggle to keep you in there because you do post a lot about what you're trying to do, and there are rules that we have in that group that don't allow some of that. But I've been working with my team to make sure that they do allow you particularly, because there's very few people that I've told my moderation team like they get to stay no matter what. And
yeah.
Sometimes they forget, but and you're one of those people.
Well, I have like 3 different pages, so sometimes I forget that I posted on one, and then I just posted on the other ones too. And then I think it was one time, it was weird because even you didn't know what was going on. It was like I couldn't post there at all, and I was like, "Can you get me unblocked?" You're like, "You're not blocked." So I don't really know what happened with that.
I mean, you're in there, and I do try to make sure that your stuff, gets to where it needs to be on that page, anyways. What you're doing is you're creating a mural here in Longview. It's on one of the walls.
Yeah, it's a retaining wall.
And it's pretty big and it's pretty long. Do you by any chance know the length of it?
Yeah, it's 1,357 feet. Me and Jodi walked it out with my little measuring thing.
Are you an artist? Do you do?
Yeah, I've always been like a drawer. Like I would draw more. Last fall is when I really started doing canvas painting, and I was like, "Hey, I like this." And then I was like, "Hey, there's a blank wall. I would like to paint on it." It's the donut box over there on the loop in 80.
Okay.
And I painted all those donut characters on it. But she's been painting a lot longer than me.
How did this idea come about?
3 years ago, I would say 2020 when COVID and all that hit, and then I started just going down the rabbit hole. I mean, we were all bored doing nothing, and I realized how bad child trafficking was. So then I got with Kelly at the mall, and I started holding, like, Save the Children rallies out in front of the mall. And then I put together a thing where we did like an event. There was food trucks and everything, and I had went to all the local tattoo shops, all the different shops, and got them to donate something. And then we raffled that off because they bought tickets, and we raised probably about $1,000, and we donated it to For the Silent in Tyler. So I was on my moped, and I was like, "Hey, we could paint stuff on this wall to bring awareness for child trafficking." So I had ran it by Kelly, and the mall really wasn't on board with that because I guess it was just too controversial at the time. So I just kind of kept on her. And then the whole thing with North Carolina getting hit by Helene, I started getting donations together to go up there. And when we went up there, the devastation was so bad. But in the midst of all of that, there was artwork everywhere. They had murals everywhere. Some of it was destroyed, some of it wasn't. But
up there in North Carolina.
Yeah, okay. But it was like the art was like something that brought the community together too, and their faith after all the devastation and destruction and losing family members and everything. They just still had their faith was still there. And it gives me chills now even to think about it because we were in the mountains, and then I was thinking about, all you have to do is have the faith the size of a mustard seed. And that's kind of where the mustard seed murals was born. And then when I had prayed about it a lot, and when I got back, I went to Kelly and I was like, look, Kelly, I was like, if I paint a mural on here for free, do you think you guys would be okay with it and y'all pay for the paint? And the mall agreed. So the one by AMC, the closest one, the one that's all Things Longview themed, that's the one I did. It took me 2 weeks. And after that, she's like, yeah, we love it. You can do the whole thing and we just can't pay for it. And so I had already been thinking about how I could help the community with this project because my goal is I would like for it to bring the community together because there's so much division in the world anyway. So if we had something that could, it's like a community goal to have this artwork beautiful and it bring us all together. So anyways, that's how I come up with, getting small businesses involved. And then even there's people on there that are getting memorial spots for their loved ones. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
I remember attending a vigil that you guys had for North Carolina. And I think that's the first time I met. You said that I met you there for the first time in person. I think after that, I still hadn't put together that you were the Gypsy.
Yeah.
How do you say your name online?
The Gypsy and then Space Longview TX.
Okay. So I still hadn't put that together.
Well, I used to have a boutique, and I didn't know how to actually have a Facebook business page.
Okay.
So it was just a personal page.
Okay.
So I'm just now kind of getting the hang of the other pages.
You had a boutique. You said that you were doing this. You've done several of these things where you go around and ask for money and then you donate it. Mm-hmm. What faith, if you don't mind me asking, what faith do you follow?
I'm just a follower of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really go to church anywhere. I don't know if I should or not. I mean, I have a lot of faith. That's all I know. And I pray every day. Like when I'm painting, I pray over the wall.
Okay.
So that whoever sees it, that they'll be washed with the Holy Spirit and they'll be led to God, so
that's pretty cool.
I feel like it's faith led. He's the one brought me there because I was in the mountains and all this happened because of him.
We go to I guess, I don't know what size we would consider our church. It's called Motion Church in Longview. It's right next to Posado's. We just celebrated our 14th year.
Is it in the same shopping center with Posado's?
Right next to it.
Oh, okay. I've seen that.
And we've been there. I think they've been there since 2011. I've been with them since later in the 2011. I've been there since then. One of the coolest things about Motion for me is that the pastor and his wife know pretty much every struggle that I've been through and some of the bad decisions that I've made.
Right.
And one of the most beautiful things about those two people, is that they've never once said, you don't need to come to this church because of what you've done. The more I see them do that with others, oh man, I'm like, I know I'm in the right place. When I asked you to come here, it's just, man, I really would love to have you on the podcast. But when I remember doing the vigil and you saying some of what you're saying, I'm like, man, that's really amazing. There's more than just a mural message here.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a message from God. Yeah. He put it on my heart. And I know that whenever I'm doing what he wants me to, I get chills all over my body and my hair stands on end. So I just try to listen to him. Yeah. And he leads me everywhere I go. So
I remember I showed up to take the photos with you. Yeah, were you nervous that day? I know it was hot. I was sweating. I was
I was sweating for sure.
Let's get this thing done.
I was kind of nervous what you would think about me making you a donkey.
Oh, man.
I've got a sense of humor though, for sure. I was like, well, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But you obviously did. You took a picture by it.
Yeah. Dude. So if that's the worst you had to do, dude, that's humor. Like, I don't have any problem with what anybody has to say about me.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was funniest thing in the world.
Well, I was trying to think, I wanted it to make a statement and be like, what other better way, all things Longview, just kind of tie that into everything. I just want everybody to be a part of it.
When did Jodi come into the picture?
Okay, so I put a call out for artists.
Did you?
She put a post on, I think it was All Things Longview. And
you can just say every post was on All Things Longview. It'll make me feel better.
Probably.
Yeah, I got tagged a bunch, so I messaged her and sent her my portfolio. And this was with the second mural. I mean, she had just finished that first All Things Longview one, and that's where I came in.
What'd you think of the first one?
I thought it was funny.
You put out this request, right? Mm-hmm. She responded to it. Did you say right away, let's do it? Or did you
well, she met me at the mall and I was I had looked at her stuff.
Before you met her, did you know who she was?
I'd heard of her name.
Okay.
I didn't know what she had done, but I knew that she had done a lot of stuff. And then whenever, I know she was a tattoo artist, so I had seen some of her work and it was really good. And then she was like, well, not all tattoo artists can paint. And I was like, well, let me look at your stuff then.
Wait a minute. You're a tattoo artist?
She's
Skin
amazing.
Deep Studio.
Yeah. What's your last name again?
Skin Deep Studio.
Hicks.
Hicks? I've never heard of that. Are you one of the ones that I hear about all the time that are...
No, I don't cause any waves.
You know about all that stuff?
I do. I stay out of it. Yeah, no, the only time you would have seen me in all Things Longview, which is probably where you would see me, would be periodically during from Halloween to Christmas. I do kind of bombard a few, but it only takes like 2 posts and then I've booked for the rest of the year, so I really don't.
I would say for almost 6 months to close to a year, we completely disallowed any tattooing or tattoo artist, anything, promotions of any, because there would be... It's funny that so much goes on behind the scenes that you don't get to, you get to hear this, like you get the privilege of hearing what you don't hear behind the scenes. That some of the artists, some of the companies would post simply to start just a simple, are there any artists out there or anybody who can do this tattoo, just to get other artists in so they can start issues. And so we just did away with it all because there was like threats of violence coming out of that.
It's very repetitive too, because it'll be like this in one day. Basically, someone's like a flower, and they're like, "Who can do this?" So almost anyone can.
See, and you know that, and
I usually just post the windows, though. I don't. I mean, like
windows.
Yeah. So I like, for example, have you seen Jaggers lately?
No, not recently, but
okay. Well, since within the last like year, I pretty much kept those windows painted, and so that's normally what I'm marketing for. It's not so much the tattoos; it's the windows during the holiday season.
How long have you been tattooing?
I will be at 3 years. I'm at 3 years September at Skin Deep, and I apprenticed for, almost a year prior to that, but I wasn't tattooing. I was just learning.
How did you end up tattooing from your life? How did you end up?
So painting is a kind of almost a religion in itself. Art is, it's a way for me to cope and heal and etc. and also something for me to share with others. So about 6th grade is really when I just like took it on as almost an identity. And I've been painting since, and it was about 4.5, 5 years ago. I was on the way back from somewhere, and my cousin called me, and his friend owned First Light Nutrition and also Panthers Nutrition, which was called something else.
Are they both here local?
They were, yes.
Okay.
Ironically, the first window I ever painted was downtown Longview, right by where I work now. And so I started doing that, and then in the midst of painting windows, I was good at it, and I enjoyed it. And from a different shop, this lady was watching me, and she watched me for about an hour paint and then offered me a job, and next thing I know, I'm a tattoo artist as well.
Did it come to you pretty easy?
No.
How was it like getting into it?
It's, a lot of the skills do carry over pretty well from painting, shading and things like that, but it's a totally different medium and it's permanent. So there's an extra level of stress, and then a lot of people, like my favorite thing about tattooing is actually the connection to people. Get along very well one-on-one, not huge in big groups. So that gives me the opportunity to connect with people in an intimate way. And a lot of people are honoring, their loved ones, their dog, etc. And that puts a lot of pressure on what you're doing. I can't, paint over it.
Yeah.
So that's really the hard part, is dealing with this isn't, when they leave, like they have to live with that. I have to live with that. So I always want it to be the best.
Tell me about one of the worst ones you've done or where you messed up.
The only real bad mess up I've ever had, thank God for that, was on someone that I'm not a huge fan of anymore. So it's all good. Do
I know that person?
It doesn't matter. I can't name names, but this said person, it was, I don't remember the word for it, but it was the first letter of each thing of the saying. So looking at it, you wouldn't really know that it's messed up, but if you know what it's supposed to say, it had a letter off.
Okay.
And I will, just to defend myself, okay, I had 3 typed up, right? And the third and biggest one was the only one that had a mistype. He picked it out. So I did learn there, like you and I were both is this, we're going to read it 18 times because I might have had to type it.
It was a misspelling?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's no big deal.
Yeah, and it was minor. And like I said, we're not big fans of the guy anymore. So like, if I could do it again, I would.
Was it no regrets?
No regrets.
No regrets.
Oh my goodness. What do you call it? The Great Wall of
Longview, yeah.
So I can bring up.
That's going to stick because every time I go try to find sponsors, I'm like, hey, you guys, do you want to get your business on the Great Wall of Longview? And they're looking at me like, what? I'm like, listen, it's this huge wall. It's going to be the largest solid mural in the whole state of Texas when it's done. And it's going to be right here in Longview.
Do you still have a lot of places that you're doing right now?
Okay, yeah, so I'm juggling all of it right now. Windows, and this is my busy season for the windows. So coming into Christmas is like super swamped.
Yeah. Do you promote that you do that, or do you?
A little bit, but I mean, to be honest with you, it kind of finds me.
That's cool. That's amazing.
Like I will make a post or two, and like I said, like ironically, I'll make a All Things Longview post. I might get one person from that, but then I don't know, there's only one person that I know comes from that. And then usually I'm flooded after it. I'm not exactly sure where they come from.
What's the biggest deal that you've done as far as painting?
Probably the wall.
The wall?
Mm-hmm.
Longview is in East Texas. Roughly the population is what, 86,000? Something like that. 86,000, something like that. The Longview Mall used to be flooded with people. Mm-hmm. Now it's here and there, right? Depends.
Yeah.
But on one side of the mall is a long retaining wall. How tall is it? Do you know?
On each end, it starts out at 10 feet. It gradually goes up to 21 feet in the middle. Wow.
So you create this first painting. Where did, obviously we don't have to stay on, the group was one of the deals, but where did the rest of the inspiration come from for that first mural?
Basically, I just wanted to, because I knew that I was going to promote it on All Things Longview because literally everybody that lives here is on that group.
Yeah.
And so I was like, how could I incorporate everybody that's in Longview and things that happen around here into a painting and also make it funny because I wanted the kids to really love it too. So I just got thinking about like animals. And I don't know if you've seen the video I made with it where it's got like the narrator doing the story.
I think so.
As I'm slowly going down it. It's really funny if you haven't watched it. But yeah, so I was like, All Things Longview, because I kept thinking hot air balloons. That's all that Longview is known for is hot air balloons. And but yeah, I was like, well, we'll do animals. And then I was like, well, we gotta have some kind of person on there. So of course I painted myself on there with a moped because I used to ride my moped up and down thinking about what I would paint on the wall. So
okay.
So that's where it just came from.
When you say Longview, what's something what comes to mind?
Yeah, like what does Longview mean to you? Yeah. Like, what's your idea of Longview?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I would like for people to say that it's community, that we're all there for each other.
Yeah.
And that when the time, and that's another thing, is when I was in North Carolina, the people were so there for each other. And it got me to thinking, I was like, and then we drove all the way there twice. I went there twice. Why do we have to wait till disaster happens for us all to come together? Why can't we do that beforehand? Because if we're already have that bond, then when disaster hits, it's not going to be as bad as what it would have been had we not already had that bond.
Wow.
So
how did you end up going to North Carolina?
I was on TikTok and I was watching these people play. It was just home videos of this disaster. I mean, it was like floods just coming through the mountains. I'd never seen anything like it. And I was just bawling my eyes out. And my husband's like, what's going on? And I was showing him, I was like, I got to do something. He's like, babe, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't know. I was like, I just have this feeling, like this pulling inside of me. Like, I think God's telling me that I need to go. And he's like, well, we don't have any money. How are you going to go up there? And I was like, I don't know, but God will provide. I was like, he told Noah to build an ark and there was no water, but he did it, I'm not comparing myself to Noah or nothing, But so I just had this thought in my head that I needed to get a 26-foot box truck. It was really specific. It was weird. A 26-foot box truck, fill it full of supplies, and take it up there and help them. And how it happened, it was just the weirdest thing. And I know that it was God moving because no other reason how this could have worked out the way it did. I called several different truck rental places. Penske was like, look, we can't give you a free one, but we can do it $10 a day, 5 cents a mile, which, if you know how expensive they are, that's super cheap.
Yeah.
I still didn't have the money. So I posted on All Things Longview what I was doing. And me and Fancy's my daughter, we drove around town and I was going asking for donations. And she had noticed a car that said Thunder Media on it. And so I scanned the QR code, and he's a guy who does like videos, and so he's really good at it. And so he shot a video for us, and it was really professional looking, and he put it out. We put it out everywhere, and then people started calling me, and they're like, hey, we would like to help. And they didn't know me from anybody. They started sending me money to my Cash App. And so that paid for the Penske truck. So I was like, and before I even had the truck, I told everybody on All Things Longview, I'm going to be at the mall this day with a big Penske truck taking donations. And I was just stressed. Nobody was showing up. And I kept posting on All Things Longview. Well, these guys pulled up in this work van and it said Clean Cut Roofing on the side.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow. And they, they're both tan looking and they have black curly hair. And it put me in the mind of maybe one of Jesus's disciples is what I was thinking, And I didn't know, but turns out they were the brother. One of them was the brother to the guy that does Thunder Media.
Okay.
And so they started bringing me tents, and they started donating money and donating stuff. And then people started coming. They prayed with me. They're like, "Don't worry, this is all going to work out."
Oh, wow.
And they started praying. Well, people started coming, and all this stuff, and they were filling it up. And then they're like, "Hey, my dad has CDLs, and he would like to drive this truck for you because
oh, wow. All the way to North Carolina,
to be in the mountains, right?"
Wow.
And I was like, that would be amazing because it was like had air brakes and everything. I was like, I was gonna do it, but hey, this is even better. But my daughter's car had old tires on it. I was like, well, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
He's like, don't worry about it. So they called Big Five. Big Five put all brand new tires on my daughter's car for free. And I was like, oh Jesus, thank you. Like what's going on? And then there was other people that wanted to go with me. There was a couple from one of the Cajun places. I think it was United Nation or Cajun place or something.
Did donations start coming in through all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was donations coming in left and right.
So somebody else wanted to go with you.
Yeah. So Emily, she wanted to go with me, and you met her when we did the vigil. She's got the red hair.
Okay.
So anyways, I was like, well, these people are wanting to go and we don't have enough vehicles. I was like, what are we going to do? Rent another car. As soon as I said that, this guy pulls up in a truck that said rent me on the side. It was a brand new Titan. And he jumps out. And I was like, he's like, hey, I'm here to help. What can I do? I was like, well, we need another vehicle to go. He's like, you got it. This one, you can have this truck all weekend free.
What?
I was like, what?
Did you know this, Jodi? Were you around?
I was not.
Okay.
I was like, are you kidding me? And I just start bawling. I was like, if that's not God moving and working, because this was his plan. This was his plan to go up there, not mine. I was just doing what he said. So he had all these things put it into motion, and he provided that truck for all weekend and no money. It was the craziest thing. So more people started coming. Tractor Supply donated all kinds of animal food because all the animals up there had no food. And so we got that first truck loaded completely full. We went up there. We helped so many people. We went up in the mountains where you couldn't really get to, but it was the craziest thing because the creek that runs through the mountains at its deepest was usually just a few feet deep, It rose to like 75 feet.
Wow.
Could you imagine being in like this and it just raising so high? It washed everybody out. There was a couple up on the mountain. Older couple said that it barely just got to their front porch and they were way up on the mountain. And they said that they seen their neighbors flying by. What can you do? You can't do nothing. Kids, everything. It was just so traumatic. And all their roads, it was decimated. And so when we left, I came back and I was like, I'm not done. God said I'm not done.
So TikTok or people will embellish, as much as they can. Was it what you saw? Was it as disastrous?
It was
as
worse.
It was
It was
worse.
worse. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life, even on movies. You know, when you look through TikTok and you see stuff in other countries and it's
Yeah.
just washing people away,
Yeah.
you're like, oh my God, that would never happen. It was that.
Yeah.
It was the news did not, I mean, it wasn't just in one little area. It was so widespread. Literally in the mountains, they have hollers. Like, you know,
Yeah, I know
they
what
call
they
it
are.
hollers
Yeah.
because they holler across or whatever. Their whole family, their whole bloodlines are right there. They were literally washed away, like their whole bloodlines, like they don't exist anymore.
Wow.
The whole family was gone. And it was just the numbers of people that were actually lost in that were way higher than what the news said. It was horrible.
Wow.
And I mean, then I went back, and this was probably a month or 2 months after it happened, because when we got there the first time, it was a couple weeks after it had happened, because it took a while to get all that together. And then the second time, God did exactly the same thing that he did the first time, and we got to go back up there. This time we went to a place called Minneapolis. It's in the mountains, and it's a part that really wasn't talked about much, but when we would drive through there, there was houses hanging like halfway off of the mountains where the water had came through.
It washed underneath it and it's just dangling off.
Yeah, it like moved mountains because it was so saturated with water. It would like trigger mudslides and the whole side of the mountain would come down.
Yeah.
So it was just people, there's people buried in the mountains that'll never be found up there.
Wow.
But there was people they'll have like in their back of their property, they had like big tents set up for food banks for people to come get food because they were cut off from every which way you could go. So it was so bad. But that's where I feel like my faith was like really ingrained in me, like how much just it was just amazing. I feel like I grew closer to God through that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that he led me to where I am now, and I'm on a mission. I don't really know exactly what it is. I just know that I have to listen to him, and because I always prayed, God, please help me to bring people to you. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to go out and preach the gospel, so show me what I need to do. So I feel like he's showing me through art.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that, that's how I met Jodi and Armando. And Armando's here. He's from Fort Worth. He actually moved down here. And he knew from the get-go that I pray over the wall. I want this to bring people together. To me, it's more than just a project.
I love just coming across people like that in the middle of the night, just painting. I'm like, dude, I gotta get this.
Right? Yeah. He'll be up there all night long too. She does too. She stays up there. Well, during the day, it's not sketchy at night.
Doing less nights. I just had one guy that kind of spooked me a little, so I was just like,
okay. So I remember you posting about somebody going out there in the middle of the night, like they were painting, and then a random person just came up and was that you?
No, we both had. What was yours about?
I mean, mine was really minute, but I'm not even 5 feet, so if I sense danger and flight on that.
Well, I did post about that when I was out there painting, and it was on one of the nights where they like to race around everywhere, but there was a really loud truck. And I was just minding my own business, and then all of a sudden I hear this guy screaming, and I turn around, and he's like taking off in a dead run across the mall parking lot. This truck's just barreling after him. I'm like, oh my God, am I about to witness somebody get murdered? So I did call LPD, and I told them, I was like, listen, don't tell them that I called y'all. When they get there, they just come all around me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm done painting. I'm done painting for tonight. So anyways, I don't know what happened to the guy or anything because the truck left.
Yeah. Tell me what you see in Longview that could improve. We all know that in today's world, there's a lot of division over multiple things. The tattoo artists can't even get along. But
I get along just fine. Don't group me up.
Oh man, I love it. But and it's something that I am constantly vigilant about. How can we as a city get better? And I think that has been a cornerstone, of what has made that group so successful, is to not allow people to bully other people, to do things like that. So I'm very particular about some of the things that I will not allow. And it's turned out to be really good for me. How would you go about trying to what things could Longview do to become better at being a unit?
A lot of people, not just here in Longview, but I feel like a lot of people let the powers that be and the mainstream media divide us because they push a lot of division. And it's just at the end of the day, it's just we're people and we all bleed red and we all have a soul and a spirit inside of us, and it's all about love, really. That's all it's all about. So if we could just look past all of that stuff that's pushed on us every day and just be like, you know what, this is our home. We know that when push comes to shove and it's like live or die, and we're in the mountains and we're getting flooded out, the government and all them, they're not going to be here. We're going to be here, and we have to be here for each other.
Right then,
yeah, they're not going to be here, but we will. Your neighbor will. Your teachers, your firemen. We're the ones that's here for each other. And if we could just come together and just, I feel a family. Like we could all be family. When you see somebody in the market that be like, just be like, hey, that's my brother, that's my sister in Christ, and really, it's true.
Yeah, I remember a girl posted about her son having a birthday. And
yeah,
you remember
that?
And all
yes.
like 170
they
or
all
something
showed up.
I was
That
like,
was amazing.
Like that's what makes it all worth it.
It is.
We are a very dysfunctional family. We are.
We really are.
We are. But in moments like that,
yeah,
we put all that aside.
Yeah.
And we do what's the most, love.
Just imagine if it could be like that all the time.
Yeah, it's hard. Like,
I mean,
you're
is
asking
hard.
for miracles.
Yes. Hey, God can do anything.
Yeah.
It would be a miracle, but if we could get that at least 75% of the time.
When you really started bringing up like other portions or the mural being available to other people, tell me what that means. Like, what is it? What do people do to try to be on the mural, and how does all that look like?
How that works is, say let's use K-Pot, which changed its name to K-Top, for example. They got 2 spots. One spot is the minimum for the big mural is 5 feet wide and 10 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's $1,200. And that covers the paint, the material, the anti-graffiti that goes on top, and the designing and the artist for painting it, which really is super cheap because the artist really isn't making that much after all the stuff is bought. And then that also gets your logo on the wall for a full year. I was told by people in the city that it needs to stay about the artwork. So what I tell the sponsors, that's what I call them.
What does that mean? Be more specific.
So it can't come off as an ad, like an ad for their company.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've seen the K-Top mural or not. It's like a little Asian boy, because David, he's like, I don't know if he's the owner or the manager, because I used to work there whenever they first opened at K-Pot.
Okay.
And so I already knew him. So he's really cool. Anyways, I was like, well, I'm going to make him into a little boy and he's going to be cooking. And then the girl in the background, her name is T. So she's actually a journeyman person that was supposed to only be here 2 months. She's been here for like 2 years now. So anyways, it complements their business. So that's how it has to work. The mural complements.
What were the reasons for that?
Well, because the city said that if it's an ad, then you have to get like signage permits and all this other stuff. But if you keep it about the artwork, then then you can say sponsored by, and then their logo can be on there.
Gotcha.
But it makes sense if you keep the mural complementing the business, and then you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's
makes
how
sense.
it works.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I learned something today. Did you know that beforehand?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't really know anything like business wise. I was just thinking about painting.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, da 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 da. And
Did you end up having to go to a meeting to figure this out, or?
Well, actually, my best friend Tamika, her name's Tamika Franklin, and she owns Miss T's Boutique on Highway 80. She's super savvy when it comes to business stuff. She's like a super business starter. Anyway, she's the one that told me all the stuff that I really needed to do to be able to get everything being legit. Another thing I really want to do is to build my business, which, well, I'll have a team of artists. If I can build a business model where I get big clients, then I say my artist, but the artist won't have to go out and struggle to find jobs, they'll already have them. They'll just have to worry about painting.
Is that going to be like a blood contract where they have to like cut their hand and do it in blood? Yeah.
We've already done it.
Oh,
That's why she says my.
You know, just a little bit of leaning on a wall that leans like this. You could fall off, scratch your knee, but that's about it.
Tell me about the attention it's received, because I think I saw you on several other platforms. Where have you been able to promote this at?
Cable
I think
TV,
I saw you on that.
CBS 19.
Now tell me why, because it's not just because you're doing a mural. Why did they all come to talk to you?
This will be the largest solid mural in the state of Texas. It'll also be the longest because it's a really long wall.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty amazing. Do you have a time frame on the completion of it?
People keep saying that. So yes, I would like to have it done by this time next year.
Okay.
That's a big ask, but that's why I really need the community to come together, because it's all dependent on them getting the spaces filled up.
Okay. What would you say to the community in terms of like what you're wanting from them?
Anything under 10 feet.
And I'm glad. I mean, I'm sure you enjoy the art.
Of course.
And you said something about it being therapeutic, which triggered my mind. But we'll get to that shortly. But so when we talk about it being finished in a year, hopefully that something can be done again at that point to really like the completion of it, because at that point it'll officially be whatever it is that you're saying it isn't.
Well, I know Kelly, she's the manager of the mall, had mentioned something about a ribbon cutting ceremony, and
Nice.
I've been talking to her about, we could actually hold events out there by the wall. I know downtown they have art walks. We could have something similar. We could have, just a lot of stuff that would bring the community together.
Yeah.
We could do it by that wall.
That's pretty cool. That would be.
And the same guy that told me about being there when the wall was built, he said that they used to hold the great balloon races from there. But I know that they are trying to bring it more stuff there to bring more people in.
Do you love the tattooing?
I do love it. I mean, I really love to paint.
More. You can say it. You love to paint more.
I do love to paint more. I don't want to. My tattoo family and everything that it's given me is very important to me. So I can juggle both. They can both exist without one having to trample the other. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy being able to connect with people. And when I feel like I've done really well, which is almost never, and I'm confident and I like that. But like it's a different kind of challenging and a different kind of weight that bears on you afterwards. But I really love to paint. It's one of those, I can hit a flow state that's just like almost a trance that nothing else can give me.
And it's just rock and rolling. Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys want to share?
Yeah. So please, y'all, if y'all want to get your business out, get on the wall, because I know that this is going to be something big. Like I said, not only will it be a big, beautiful mural when it's completed, but it will be a new landmark for Longview. And the most important thing is, as an original sponsor. So how it works is the first 1,200, if you get a big spot, covers everything, and you get your logo on the wall for a whole year. After the first year, if you want to keep your logo on that mural, it's $100 a month. And that's for the upkeep of the mural plus the fee for having it on the mall wall. So if you don't want to, that's okay. The $100 is only if you have your logo on there, but as an original sponsor, your name will go on the bottom of that forever. So your name will literally be on a landmark forever. So that's really cool. And we do have smaller spots for smaller businesses. That's just $300 a year.
That's cool.
So yeah, and it won't get completed until everybody gets a spot. So that's the main thing.
Well, I wish you the best on that whole
Thank you.
venture. Of course, I'm going to be watching it as it continues to grow. And,
Yeah, I hope that next time it's a lot more painted on there, and also, I'm still looking for more artists. If you've painted on a wall and it's like, because this wall is really hard to paint on, so
yeah,
if they want to send me their portfolios or whatever, it's mustardseed.paintmurals@gmail.com.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Story of Everyman.
Words against me now, it feels true, but leaves me empty. Oh, so do your worst to come.